What's the biggest thing that could stop you, I guess?
Bad luck. It looks like we are back into it. The pressure is not on us. We will give everything we have until the end. McLaren does the things the way they want to do it.
Thanks for joining us on the Inside Track. I'm happy to say I'm in Mexico here with Max Verstappen. Thank you for being on the podcast now. It's a pretty good time to be talking to you because you've been on fire at the moment. What's the secret behind your run of success?
Teamwork. Yeah. As you know for yourself, I think the beginning of the season, and I would say definitely the first half of the season has been with some nice moments, but mainly difficult moments with some tough races and difficult to understand what was going on. To now having a bit of an upswing in performance and being a lot more competitive, and finally we're able to challenge again at the top, and that is of course very very important for the whole team, for confidence as well for everyone, and it just shows that what the whole team was working on is definitely paying off now.
So Laurent's been quick in saying he's had a zero impact, which seems faintly ridiculous. Can you talk a bit like how key has he been in the success?
Yeah, like I said, it's a teamwork, right? And every single individual, helps the performance forward, and that's why I disagree with the 0%. I think what is very nice to see with Laurent, he's like one of the team, and of course with the engineering background as well, which seems a little bit the new trend, I think, anyway, in Formula One. It's good to have someone like that also asking questions to the engineering group and just sitting together, having more meetings, and really just go over things a bit more of how we can improve the situation or improve the car.
Was there ever a point, you maybe didn't say it publicly, when you gave up on the title, where you felt it didn't seem possible?
Yeah. At what point? When you start going to like 80, 90 points, 100 points, you normally, especially as 4 or 5 races ago, you think like that's a big ask, and also with the way the performances were going, it was not really looking very likely. But it's not like really giving up. You're still trying to maximize the results that you get, right? And if that's P3 or 5 or 6, like you just try and do the best you can. Now lately with the results that we have, it looks like we are back into it. But at the same time, I also know that everything needs to go perfect to the end. But having said that, we have done it before, even though of course when we have done it before we were way more dominant, I would say. But why not? It's a good task. I mean, we have fun. The pressure is not on us. We are enjoying what we're doing, and we will give everything we have until the end. If it's enough, that will be a brilliant story. If not, we will still be proud. I mean, the upswing of performance is quite remarkable, and we will be very happy with what we have delivered.
So if you win this title, and I appreciate it's a big if at this point, would it be your greatest achievement, do you think?
Yeah, in terms of comeback, yes. But
would it eclipse 2021, for example?
I think that's the beauty, that every year is different, right? I would still go for 23. Winning that many races is always better than winning a few less. But in terms of a comeback story, for sure. But at the end of the day, I think you have to appreciate every single year that you do, if you win it or not.
So if you talk about 2021, that's your first time you're going for a title. You feel that pressure. You've never won one before, and that's what the McLaren guys are facing now. Can you kind of tap into that a bit and use that to your advantage?
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really think about that too much, about what others feel or think. I know, of course, what I felt in 21, but at the same time, I think I just need to focus on what we can control, and that's the performance here with everyone and the car. And I think then your hands are already quite full.
But you must be aware that they'll be feeling the pressure. They've got a 4-time world champion breathing down their neck, haven't they?
Yeah, but at the same time, like I said, like I just live my life, right? I do my job, go home, and then I come back, and I know that I will give it everything, and I'm just very focused on my side of the garage.
They've obviously got a different approach to how they're doing things, and we've seen that. Is there a danger that derails their championship hopes, do you think, the way they're pushing for two drivers?
I hope so. It would be perfect for me, but time will tell, right?
Yeah.
And again, it's not something that I also want to necessarily add pressure or whatever, right? I mean, McLaren does the things the way they want to do it. You can agree with that or not, right? But that's not up to us, because they are the boss. They do what they want. and you have to appreciate that.
Do you feel one driver poses a bigger threat than the other to you in the title race?
At the end of the day, it's in my own hands. If we are competitive enough and we keep winning, that should be enough.
Do you think you will win it? Like, you get that sense?
It's not about if I will win it or not. I know that when I jump in the car, I will give it everything I have. And that's the only thing that I can do.
What's the biggest thing that's could stop you, I guess?
Bad luck.
Yeah.
Bad luck. You can have a crash. You can get hit. You can have a puncture. You can have an untimely safety car. You can get sick. You can slip in the shower. You break your leg. Anything can happen, right? So, I don't know. I don't try. I don't want to think about it too much.
Yeah.
I just come here, and I hope that we can have a strong weekend here again, which, of course, will help for the championship.
It's almost the calmest you've ever seemed in a title battle. Is that because you're doing the hunting and there isn't the pressure, or is it just because you've matured? I don't know whether things change.
I always said that, if we win it, great, right? It's always great to add another title to it, but at the same time, I don't need to, in a sense. So that takes a lot of pressure away. But I also know from myself that when I sit in the car, I will always maximize everything that I have.
So is there anything that you still have to achieve? Do you feel like there are things you still have to achieve, or you've done it all and anything's a bonus then?
Well, let's say like this, if someone tells me tomorrow, Max, you cannot drive anymore, for whatever reason, then okay, all right, life goes on. I have other projects and things that I want to do anyway, and that's okay as well. But at the same time, I also love what I'm doing, and I love working with the people, here in the team as well. And it's still very exciting, when you win those races, and it's very rewarding at the same time. I can easily just switch off or accept certain scenarios.
Is this the best you've been driving, the best you've ever driven this season, do you think?
I would hope so. Every year that I start, I'm always trying to be a little bit better. Now, of course, I think at a certain stage, it's not like massive gains anymore, but you always try to be more consistent. You always try to just make less mistakes in general in any kind of session or whatever. And you just try to mature into it a bit more. And basically, just try to maximize the potential of the car, yourself, the weekends, all these things.
So yourself aside, who do you think's the best driver on the grid? If it's not you.
The thing is, if I name one driver, then maybe someone else gets pissed off that I didn't name him or whatever. So,
if you were to put amalgamation of the best driver, what parts would you take from others? Could you pick bits that you admire from others?
I don't really admire anything specifically, but there are a lot of great drivers on the grid that I grew up with, also in go-karting already, and all potential future world champions.
Yeah. What about one of the things that I know you're interested in is the esports side of things, and I wonder when you're like in a title fight and you're as busy as you are, how you have time to kind of do that, manage that, and how important that is to you, that whole esports drive.
Well, I think the team at the moment is anyway well run, if I'm there or not.
Yeah.
We have a good enough people, and they manage the day-to-day stuff. And my role is just, if I have time, I add in my contribution and my advice or experience. But even without me, they're winning. So that is very comfortable, comforting thing to see. They're also growing. They're also getting older, getting more experience. So the drivers even know much more what to do. Plus, then the management helping them perform even better. That's exactly what I like to see, right? Because you see these drivers also starting quite inexperienced or younger, and growing as well as a person. That's exactly the job that we want to do with the sim team.
And talk about the mission and the passion of trying to get an esports driver essentially into a Formula One car. That's the aim, which is. And that sounds pretty challenging when you say that out loud.
Well, I think so. The main target is not specifically Formula One, because that is very difficult in general, right? But for them to have an opportunity to become a professional racing driver without having, of course, the chances before, for a lot of reasons, that is my goal. That they can show their talents in the car and basically get picked up eventually by a factory team, and they can make their living out of it. How beautiful is that? Because nowadays Of course, most of the kids, they start in go-karting and only a few make it. Some have the funding, some don't. Some get picked up, of course, by management or junior teams. And we want to create a different pathway with the sim racing side of things, where you can easily start on the cheapest equipment. You might get picked up by us in the sim team, and you can grow, through the experiences that you learn already there into the real world, and show the real guys that it doesn't matter where you come from or what your background is exactly, that you can catch up and potentially do even better.
It's quite impressive. Are you impressed by how quickly they can translate that sim racing esports side of things onto the track? Because some people have been able to do it. It doesn't seem to me as though it would be as possible as that.
Some are more talented in that than others. You have to look at the case by case, right? So it's not only about being quick and you say, okay, he's ready. There's a lot of stuff that comes into play to say, okay, this guy or girl is ready to make it into the real car. And that's why this year was the first time that we did it, of course, with one of our sim drivers. And I could see the capacity that he had, not only in driving quick, but also understanding the car side of things, the mechanical side of things, almost approaching it as like an engineering side of things. So almost being his own engineer, plus race instinct, being in battles and how you deal with pressure. All those kind of things I take into consideration to say, okay, he's ready or not.
I was speaking to Helmut Marko the other day, and he said how he felt you'd really got your enjoyment back more than ever. And he said part of it is obviously having a quick car and doing well, but the other part was things like doing the Nordschleife and stuff like that. Do you feel that? Does that give you a better balance almost?
I don't fully agree with what he said, because I know for myself, it doesn't matter if I'm first or fifth or whatever. I know when I sit in the car, I will always give it everything I have. But naturally, yes, it's more enjoyable coming to a weekend knowing that you can fight for a win or not. So maybe the happiness in terms of coming to a weekend was not the same.
Yeah.
But I know that I was always giving it everything I had. It's not like I was slacking in the car while driving.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was meaning that. I was thinking he was just by having these different experiences away from the Formula One track that you get.
But I was already planning and preparing for anyway. That had nothing to do with the season that we had right now. That's why, with the GT3 team as well, these are things that have already been planned years before.
Yeah.
And of course, at one point you need to make a start point. It's like, okay, now we need to get started. And then of course at one point also you get the opportunity to drive yourself. That happened only now this year. It's coincidence with maybe the season that we had, right? But that was already planned in advance.
And you loved it as well, didn't you? I mean, it was utter joy from start to finish.
I love racing all different kind of things, not only Formula One cars.
Yeah. So what other passion projects? Do you have other passion projects lined up? I know you've got a championship to deal with, but are there other things?
I think I'm already busy enough with of course,
family as
F1,
well.
sim racing, running the GT3 stuff. Family is of course a separate thing, which again is super important to me. So I would say outside of these things, it's honestly just being home.
Yeah.
That's a big passion of mine, being at home in my own bed and being able to spend the time with your family and friends.
And can I ask, does having a family, does that help in some sense as a Formula One driver, in the sense that it's not the be all and end all, that you go home and there's just this normal existence, the girls are there and needing you and stuff like that?
I mean, I like that.
Yeah.
I like to switch off, not think about racing or Formula One, and then dedicate your time to family. Definitely doesn't make you slower, because when I sit in the car I think about performance. But then again, if it's a good or a bad weekend, when you come home, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. What's the biggest thing that's